The Brony Adventures 4, Chapter 30. What is dark turns to light. In Donald's castle, in the hallway, Dunsmore says, "Hey, Mother." Lena says, "Hello, son." Dun- Dunsmore freezes. He turns around and says, "Mother." Lena says, "Yes." Dunsmore walks up to her and says, "You have gray in your mane. I thought you were immortal, like me. I'm your son." Lena looks at the floor and says, I I lied. I'm not immortal. Neither is your father there, but you are." Dunsmore says, "You lied?" "No, no, no." Lena says, "You were born and destined to be the hero of light. You are connected to Equestria. If you die, it dies too. So you are given immortality. You were born with it." She looks at him and says, "I'm sorry, Thunderstorm. I wanted you to think that you'd never lose me, that I'd always be here. I knew it wouldn't last forever, but it made you so happy. I couldn't tell you the truth. I barely can now." Dunstorm backs away and says, "No, no, no, no. After all I've gone through, all I've done, you die anyway?" Lena looks at the floor again. Dunstorm says, "It's not fair. It's not fair." The storm roars. Tears run down his cheeks, and he says, "What? What about Aunt Celestia?" Lena slowly nods her head, still looking at the floor. Dunstorm shuts his eyes tight, tears falling out. He lowers his head. The ground starts shaking. Draconix runs up beside Luna and says, "What's going on?" Rain runs up beside Draconix and says, "Dad?" She steps towards him. Dunstorm throws his head up and screams. The storm roars louder. The wind howls beyond comprehension. The ground starts to crack and slit. Tornadoes form. Hail and rain fall like mad. Draconix screams, "What happened?" Lena screams, He found out I'm not immortal." Draconix says, "Celestia, help us." The castle starts to crack. Dunstorm screams, "Ah!" Draconix screams, "He's gonna destroy everything!" The storm roars. Rain screams, "Daddy, stop, please! Daddy!" Dunstorm continues to scream, "Ah!" Draconix screams, "Can we make you immortal?" Luna screams, "Me and my sister are too magical. It won't work." Dunstorm screams even louder, "Ah!" The storm roars even louder. Dunstorm's coat turns white, and his mane and tail turn white with yellow in them. His eyes turn yellow. Rain's eyes go wide, and she says, "Dad?" Draconix says, "What in Celestia's name?" Luna stares in shock, her eyes wide. The hallway's floor starts to crack. Draconix screams, "We got to calm him down, or this whole castle will come down." Rain screams, "How?" Rainbow Dash walks up between them with Twilight, Rarity, Fluttershy, Owljack, and Pinkie Pie. They're all wearing their elements. Draconix screams, "You can't!" Rain screams, "Mother!" Firefly screams, "It's like hell out there. They have no choice. Ponies could die." Draconix screams, "It won't work. He deflected the dark elements of chaos." Firefly screams, "We have to do something." Rainbow Dash takes her element off and drops it. She walks towards Thunderstorm. Draconix screams, "Rainbow Dash!" Twilight screams, "Let her!" Thunderstorm continues to scream, "Ah!" Rainbow Dash reaches Thunderstorm. She hugs him. Wrapping both wings around him, she whispers into his ear, "I'm here. It's okay." Thunderstorm screams, "Ah!" He looks at her, then buries his face into her neck, crying. The storm stops. The tornadoes diminish. The ground stops shaking and cracking. The wind stops. Draconic says, "She works magic." Rain says, "That is white." Luna says, "My son, what's happened to you?" End of chapter 30. The Brony Adventures 4, chapter 31, A Gift Passed Down. Nova walks past Draconis and Luna to Thunderstorm. Draconis says, "Who is that?" Luna says, "I don't know." Noah says, "Stormdust." Stormdust looks up at him and says, "Nova." Noah says, "It's time I told you just what Stormdust is." Stormdust says, I don't want to walk." Noah says, "Fine. I'll tell you here." Stormdust says, "Okay." Noah says, "You know how when you get angry or upset, everything increases. Your power, strength, etc. You are at your max, but the strength and everything else goes away once you calm down. Stormdust is a shortcut to that strength. To your max, only you have control. Anger is not in the way or anything else. Oh, and the ground only cracked because it was unstable." Stormdust says, "A shortcut? That's all? So, why does my coat turn white and my eyes yellow?" Noah says, "I should go." Stormdust says, "Please, I'm already in great pain. Don't cause me more." Noah sighs and says, "You are what is called a light pony. Unlike dark ponies, it's not a species. It's a connection. To Equestria's very heart. It's light. This doesn't make you more powerful, but it does allow you to feel Equestria grow. It's plants, bugs, animals, ponies, everything. It's a gift that very few have. We thought they were all dead until you turned white." Stormdust says, "This has to do with me being the hero of light, doesn't it?" Noah says, "No. It's just a gift. It's just a gift given to you. It can be passed down. Your Phillies may have it too, and colts. It's given by one pony, Celestia. She is a light pony herself." Stormdust says, "Aunt Celestia? Mother, did you know?" Luna says, "No. She must have done it when you two were alone." Stormdust's coat turns black, his mane and tail turn black with red in them, and his eyes red again. Thunderstorm says, "Oh, thanks, Celestia." Noah says, "You simply just have to wish it, and you'll be yourself again." Thunderstorm says, "Wish it? Wish it? I had to force it last time." Noah says, "It had just awoken. What do you expect?" Thunderstorm throws a punch at Nova. Nova catches it and swings Thunderstorm into the wall and says, "I told you. Don't get cocky." Thunderstorm says, "Okay, you got me. Round 1 to you." Thunderstorm's armor appears and he says, "Round 2. Draconic says, "Are you crazy? He's an old pony." Noah says, "Please, let him. I'll be okay." Thunderstorm says, "You wish." Thunderstorm says, "Hold still." He swings his armor. It sticks into Nova's cane. Nova smiles. Thunderstorm says, "Oh, please don't." Nova flips Thunderstorm to the ground by his wing. Thunderstorm screams, "Ah!" Nova pulls his cane free and says, "You are mad, but not trying. Why?" Thunderstorm stands up and says, "I don't want to kill you." Noah says, "You won't." Thunderstorm's eyes glow red, and he says, "What makes you so sure?" Noah says, "I have experience on you, young one." Thunderstorm's coat turns white, and his mane and tail turn white with yellow in them, and his eyes turn yellow, then go blank. Stormdust says, "Do you?" Twilight says, "Oh no." Noah says, "Stormdust won't help you." Draconic screams, Run, Nova! He's gone Rager! Nova says, Rager? He's a Rager? Stardust punches him. Nova stumbles backwards and says, Ah! Stardust smiles and punches him over and over. Nova falls to his knees and screams, Ah! Stardust throws another punch, but Black Dawn catches it and says, Leave the old pony alone. Stardust backs away and says, How? How did you... But Dawn says, there's a weakness to all power, including Rager. Stardust throws another punch, but Dawn dodges it and punches Stardust in the chest. He hits the wall and screams, Ah! He turns back into Thunderstorm, his eyes focused, then he falls to his knees and says, What did you do? He falls to his side, unconscious. Rainbow Dash screams, Thunderstorm! Rain screams, Daddy! They run to him. Draconis says, What did you do? But Dawn says, I brought him his Black Dawn. It's my special talent. Don't worry, he's not dead. I hit him in a pressure point. My talent allows me to see them and then bring your Black Dawn. Lights out. Draconis says, What about the old man? But Dawn says, He found a way around me and defeated me a long time ago. I'm his protector. That is, if he runs into a pony that he can't beat. It's rare, but it happens. The old pony doesn't know pressure points, so he's helpless against a Rager. Draconis says, Oh. Well, y'all better get out of here before he wakes up. But Dawn helps Nova up and says, Probably. See ya, Ashes. They walk away. Draconis says, Ashes? Twilight giggles and says he's referring to when you turn into ash whenever you die. You just come back. Draconis says, Ashes. How creative. End of Chapter 31. The Brony Adventures 4, Chapter 32. A Night's Last Moon. I did not enjoy making this chapter at all. In Thunderstorm's and Rainbow Dash's room, Thunderstorm slowly opens his eyes. Rainbow Dash says, Hey. Thunderstorm smiles and says, Hey. He jumps up and says, Mother. Lena says, I'm here, son. Draconis says, Come on, Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash and Draconis leave the room. They close the doors. Thunderstorm walks over to Luna and says, Mother. Tears fall down his cheeks. Luna hugs him, both wings wrapped around him. Thunderstorm says, How much longer do you have? Luna says, I don't know. Thunderstorm says, I love you, Mom. Luna says, Mom, I love you too, Thunderstorm. Tears fall down her cheeks. 1 week later, in the hospital, Dr. 8 says, She's not responding! Dr. 7 says, Keep trying! Thunderstorm screams from behind the doors, Mother! Dr. 7 says, Keep him back! Dr. 8 says, She won't respond! Dr. 7 says, No! Keep trying! Dr. 8 says, She's gone! Thunderstorm screams, Mother! The doors burst open. Dr. 7 says, Get back! Get back! It's his mother! Thunderstorm walks up to her and says, Mother, please, please. Tears fall down Thunderstorm's cheeks, and he says, Mother, wake up, please, wake up. He falls to his knees and says, Wake up, Mother. A beep goes out. Dr. 7 says, Another beep. Dr. 8 says, She's alive? Thunderstorm jumps up and says, Mother? Luna slowly opens her eyes and says, Thunderstorm. She smiles and says, My son. Thunderstorm holds her hoof and says, Mother. Luna says, You are my son, my true son, the bond we share, how you take care of me. She squeezes and says, you love me so much. Tears fall out of her eyes, and she says, I've watched you grow into a good, nice, sweet, strong, caring, and loyal pony. Dunsmore says, Mother. Tears fall down his cheeks. Luna says, many more dangers will threaten you and all of Equestria. Be ready, and promise me you will never lose your way. Dunsmore says, I promise, Mom. Luna smiles and says, Mom, I love you, Thunderstorm. I love you. Thunderstorm says, I love you too, Mother. He falls to his knees crying. The storm roars. The doctors leave the room. Ember Dash walks in. She drops to her knees and hugs Thunderstorm, wrapping both wings around him. He buries his face into her neck. Just outside the room, Brady says, I can't take it. Tears run down her cheeks. The storm roars. Brady says, listen to that. He's hurting. Tears run down all their faces. Applejack says, I can't take it neither. Twilight says, Thunder. Princess Luna. Pinkie Pie says, I know you're sad now, but I can make it better. Brady says, oh, shut up, Pinkie. I'm sorry. It's just... Pinkie Pie says, I understand, Rare. Fluttershy says, can't we do something? The storm roars. Fluttershy says, anything. Applejack says, no. Not right now, anyway. Fluttershy says, but he's hurting so much. Applejack says, I know. I've seen it. In Applejack's mind, Dunsmore screams, Mother! Aunt Celestia! Tears fall from Applejack's eyes, and she says, Thunderstorm. Tears fall from Twilight's eyes. Twilight says, my heart's breaking. I can't take it. He's in so much pain. Back to reality. Applejack says, Twi, you okay? The storm roars. Twilight falls to her knees and says, no. He's hurting so much. My heart. Applejack walks over to her and says, it's breaking. She hugs Twilight and says, I know. Mine is too. Slowly, one by one, they all break down crying. Celestia watches from the doorway, looking back and forth between Luna and Thunderstorm, tears going down her cheeks. She says, Luna, my little sister, why? You've left so many in pain, including me. She falls to her knees crying. Skugga watches from outside in the rain. Through a window, a tear slides down her cheeks. Skugga says, Mother, I love you. Zebra falls to his knees in the waiting room crying. Rain, Skulu, and Luna hug each other and cry. The storm roars. In Hunter's lab, Hunter looks at the full moon and says, Clank. Clank says, yes, sir. Hunter says, give me my tools. I got work to do. JT walks outside of his and Twilight's house and looks at the full moon. A tear slides down his cheek. David and Shirley look up at the full moon. Tears fall down their cheeks. They hug each other crying. All of Equestria cries as Equestria itself cries from the loss of one of its former princesses. As night shines on with Luna's last rays of the moon, every pony looks up at it and cries for her to come back. End of chapter 32. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.